Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott, and that is Lauren. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm okay. Kind of have a cold, though, a little bit.
Yeah.
I think a cold. I don't know. I have a question, though, in a second.
Okay.
Instagram, search Wilder Show Pod, and you'll find us there on Instagram. If you want to send us email to podcast@wildershow.com. Did not hear from Japan this last couple of days.
That's right.
Podcast@wildershow.com. Tell us where you're listening from.
Maybe they're a little behind.
Yeah. How you found us. Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube. On the TikTok, wherever you get your podcasts, would you please give a little thumbs up even right now? If you're doing it there on YouTube, just reach down and hit that thumbs up. Costs you nothing and helps us a great deal. So like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. Was your dad a handkerchief guy? A long time ago, when we were kids, my dad was a handkerchief guy.
My dad was a handkerchief guy.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a handkerchief guy, too.
Isn't that something? You know, because as I've had a bit of a sniffles the last 24 hours, I've thought of my dad, and I wanted to ask you this. We don't talk until we're on mic, so you and I have not talked about this. But I kind of always thought it'd be interesting to be a handkerchief guy.
Yeah.
I never thought much about it hygienically. I always had a little nervousness about that.
Yeah,
but,
that's the thing that always kind of...
It's like, well, you're putting all that back in your pocket?
Yeah, and then you're going to take it out again and maybe offer it to somebody else.
No, that's okay. So I have to carry two, right? You have one in the clean side.
You got a clean one. And
the visitor, for the visitors. Then you have one for yourself. But I always thought it'd be interesting to be a handkerchief guy. I'm not, a handkerchief guy. But I think about that because when I think my dad had passed away by the time he was the age that I am right now.
Yeah.
So when I think about my dad and those days, he was a handkerchief guy. He was in his 30s.
He was way younger than you are now.
He was in his 30s. So it's like, as a 30-year-old, he's walking around with a handkerchief.
Yeah.
That's just funny.
You can, people must still be using them.
I think
because
so, yeah.
you can get them on Amazon.
Monogram and whatnot.
You could.
That's
well,
so
yeah.
funny.
We actually did that for my daughter's wedding. We had some handkerchiefs, monogrammed for the family and people that we thought might be dabbing their eyes a little bit during the wedding.
Great.
But yeah, you could be a handkerchief guy by this afternoon if you wanted to be.
Yeah, maybe. Bring it right to your door.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah Guthrie's mother. Man, did you watch the thing from the other night?
I did.
Golly. And I don't want to do the whole speculation thing. The whole thing is really, really weird. By the time you hear this, it may have resolved. But I said that last time.
We did.
The last time I said, I'd say it's probably going to be different by the time. And it wasn't. Here we are on day 5, 6, or 7, or whatever it's going to be.
What do I know? I know nothing. I know only what I've learned from many, misspent hours on Dateline.
That's right.
But I had the feeling that this was going to resolve really quickly.
Yeah,
I don't know why I had
too.
that feeling. And obviously I was wrong.
They had a press conference. They have the whole TikTok of the whole thing. When the doorbell rang and her phone and her watch are attached to her pacemaker, and the last connection with the phone and the watch were left behind, was like at 2:00 in the morning on that Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they had the brother and the sister and Savannah Guthrie. Yeah. Can I just tell you what I was thinking?
Yeah.
Now, again, this is too much time watching Dateline. But there have been some stories about, how could this have happened or whatever. Who was the last one to see the mom? Mm-hmm. And as they had this little reading, they're reading their notes to their mom or whatever, release her or whatever. I guess I've just watched too much. And it's on her network that I've watched Dateline.
Sure.
I thought somebody somewhere is zooming in with a camera on each of these three people. I'm not saying any of them had anything to do with anything. Mm-hmm. But the body language people and all that kind of stuff. I think there have been confirmed reports that the cameras were all destroyed. So somebody had intimate knowledge of where the cameras were and where her bedroom was.
That it wasn't a random thing. Yeah.
Anyway, there are all kinds of wild rumors out there having to do with other things that are in the news. And whether this could be a part of that, I don't know. It's just... we continue to hope that it will resolve well. Jeff Bezos. You see that they fired 1/3 of the staff at the Washington Post?
I did see
that. A third. That is 1 in every 3.
That's really good math.
That means if you and 2 people were standing together, one of you, on average, would have lost their job. Mm-hmm. I did see a thing like a foreign correspondence, including foreign correspondence. Mm-hmm. This girl puts on her social media, I'm a Washington Post reporter in Ukraine, and I just got a note that I'm laid off, stuck in Ukraine.
So stuck in Ukraine, there has to be some plan to, they've got to bring you home, right? So.
But among the things at the Washington Post that are taking a hit is the Metro section. And we think about the Metro section, especially the Washington Post. Mm-hmm. What do you think of the Metro section in the Washington Post?
Crime?
Yeah, crime is one thing, but it was in that section that was the Woodward and Bernstein Watergate coverage. Oh, wow. That began in the Metro section.
Did it really?
It did.
It wasn't like a front page.
Well, if you go back, watch the movie. If you go back and see the movie, of course, Ben Bradley at the helm. Ben Bradley played masterfully by Jason Robards.
Yeah, I did just watch The Post.
Did you really?
During the weekend of the freeze. I'd never seen that. Yeah, go ahead.
So you know the way that the whole thing started. Actually, it was Leslie Stahl was in the room, and so was. Well, it wasn't Robert Redford, but Robert Redford played Bob Woodward.
Bob Woodward, yeah.
They were sent down. Some people were arrested, breaking in. It was just like a late night court arraignment. Mm-hmm. And he's in there, and he hears the guy say that he worked previously for the CIA. And he's like, oh my. Mm-hmm. But it began in the Metro section.
Yeah.
It was just a guy covering a court case, an arraignment, a local burglary, and an arraignment of 5 guys. And so he was there. Anyway, Leslie Stahl was also, she told the story years later about how they were both just basically cub reporters that had been given the junk jobs, to paraphrase. It's late at night, you go do it. Yeah. Okay, so she was there with him in the room. She for her outlet and he for the Washington Post. Anyway, the Washington Post, massive cuts in the Metro section. So I was listening to Marty Baron. And when I say Marty Baron, do you know who Marty Baron is?
I don't.
Okay, Marty Baron was the retired, until he retired a couple of years ago, he was the, whatever it is, the editor-in-chief or whatever is the head person at the helm. And he took over, I think, sometime after Ben Bradley. But the backstory is Ben Bradley's son was working at the Boston Globe. Well, the Boston Globe had a story they were about to uncover, and they just brought in a brand new chief editor, and that was actually Marty Baron.
Okay.
So Marty Baron was in charge. They didn't elevate Ben Bradley Jr. up to, they put Marty Baron over him. Marty Baron, Jewish guy, was coming in to be in charge of the Boston Globe.
Okay.
At the time, there was the priest abuse scandal.
Wow.
And if you watch the movie Spotlight, that tells the story of all the people involved, but tells the story of Marty Baron. Anyway, Marty Baron went on to go back to where Ben Bradley, the great, was at the Washington Post, and he most recently retired. Anyway, he was being interviewed. What do you think about this? How do you feel about this? And he was telling his story. And also they interviewed somebody who had written for the Washington Post. This is a long way to get to the point I wanted to make to you. They interviewed a longtime writer. You think if you're a writer for the Washington Post, you got it going on, right?
Sure.
If you've been there for 20 years or whatever. And the interviewer asked the writer, who's now no longer there, is retired, how did you feel when you woke up this morning and you read that a third of the staff had been let go? You know what he said?
No, what did he say?
This kills me to say this.
Oh, no.
He said, I felt nauseous.
Well, I know.
And that's one of my pet peeves.
I know.
Because that's the wrong word. But he's a journalist.
Yeah.
He should say nauseated.
Yeah.
I felt nauseated. Right? Somebody can be nauseous, but you feel nauseated. Yeah. That's the proper word. Anyway, the destination was not worth the journey, but hopefully the journey was okay. So Washington Post firings, and a lot of people were mad with Bezos because he spending trillions of dollars on the ballroom, the big, beautiful ballroom. More gold, more gold. Speaking of the president, he did speak at the, man, I'm always nervous talking about Trump. He makes me crazy. It was a national prayer breakfast.
Yeah.
And this is right after, the morning after, Savannah Guthrie and the siblings have made their plea. Now, to his credit, Donald Trump reached out, sent a note to her, or called her, talked to her, whatever. We'll do. I've committed, and whatever she needs, we're standing by, the likes of which no search has ever seen before. But he's speaking at the prayer breakfast. Here's what he should have said. He walks up to great, applause and says, let me start by saying this. Here we are at the National Prayer Breakfast, and I know heavy on all our hearts is what Savannah Guthrie and her family is going through. And I just wanted to say that our thoughts and our prayers certainly are with her. And I know there are people even in this room. You have things going on in your life that perhaps no one will know. They don't make the headlines, but they're just serious. It could be health. It could be whatever it is. I want you to know that we believe in the power of prayer, and we are here together at the National Prayer Breakfast, and I'm honored to be with you. And then he can talk about sleepy Joe Biden and Obama and how he's a horrible president. I watched for 42 minutes straight and stopped watching.
Yeah.
That never happened.
You didn't hear what you were waiting for. What you
didn't hear what should have been there. Yeah. No, I didn't. And it just makes me crazy. We talked before about unforced error. It's an unforced error. You are given on Mr. President, a golden platter. It's gold. It's a golden platter. You're given an opportunity to look, I don't know, presidential, selfless, altruistic. And he What
did he say that bothered you so much?
We talked about, it was basically a list. It was a kind of thing that he would say at any speech. It was a national prayer breakfast. And so I kind of expected something having to do with that, the history of the National Prayer Breakfast or something like this. And he says, last year I was here and everyone was wondering because I just said, I don't know if I'm going to get to heaven. I think I'm going to get to heaven. I think I am. But I didn't know. And it was a joke. It was a joke. And he says, but I think I will. I think I will. He says, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. But I've done a lot of good things for a lot of perfect people. It's like, oh, my Lord.
He's just digging the hole a little bit deeper.
It's just, and the thing is, it's me. Let me just say this. The problem is me. I continue to expect something that I don't believe he is capable of. There's an old saying, what's down in the well comes up in the bucket.
Yeah.
You will not get anything up in the bucket if it isn't down in the well.
Well, I'm really proud of you for seeing this as a you thing. The end of expectations, beginning of peace.
There you go. Yeah.
You can have a more peaceful life now. At least in this one little area.
It's not my nature to have a peaceful life.
I know.
Nicki Minaj has answered a question that I've been wondering about for a long time. We did not land on the moon. So there you go. She says that we did not land on the moon.
Oh, so the the final answer.
That's right.
Okay.
I phoned a friend, and it was Nicki Minaj.
How did she come to that conclusion?
I don't know. People are crazy about the whole moon thing. Although it is weird, we haven't been back in 50 years. Somehow, John F. Kennedy says, I believe before that, and boom, it's done. Hey, they got wrappers from gum and they spit in tissue paper, put it all together.
It's probably a little bit more complicated than boom, it's done.
Light a black cat under it and send everybody to the moon. But then we can't do it again for 50 years because, technology's not today what it used to be. Wait, no, that's not right. So, in fact, you saw that the whole moon, the slingshot thing we're doing, that we're supposed to do like now, they have put that off again.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. It's going to send 4 people further from the earth than people have ever been before because they're in a slingshot on the other side of the moon.
Okay.
And then slingshot them back. First woman, I guess, around the moon, not to the moon. A Canadian will be on board. So non-American.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so, the moon landing was fake according to Nicki Minaj. I have a political thing I want to get to, but just real quick. Lou Holtz is in hospice care. Lou Holtz, the great Notre Dame coach in South Bend, Indiana. I mean, patrolling the sidelines with that curled up program or whatever from 1986 to 96, something like that. 1988, he won the national championship, perfect record, 12-0. My favorite Lou Holtz story. Can I tell that?
Oh, yeah.
Lou Holtz, very intimidating guy, short guy. Lou Holtz was not embarrassed about his Christianity. He didn't laud it over people, but he wasn't embarrassed. He was pro-life, and he was a Christian, and he was happy to share that with anybody and was not embarrassed of his faith. My favorite Lou Holtz story, because while he was a short guy, very intimidating. And,
I'm sure.
And so they have this kicker that they brought in, and the kicker, Lou'd been told, Coach Holtz been told, this guy's a great kicker. He's going to be a great coach. You're going to love him. Love this guy. So Lou Holtz goes over to the practice field and looks over at the guy that's kicking, and the guy sees Coach over there and lines up the ball and off to the left and lines up another one and off to the right. And lines up another one and just sort of chili dips it and short. Lou Holtz calls the guy over and says, "Son, come here." I said, "What's going on, son? I heard you were a good kicker." He said, "Well, Coach, when you're watching me, it just makes me really nervous." Lou Holtz said, "Son, I plan on being at every game."
You need to get over that, buddy.
Oh, man. Lou Holtz.
Man.
Great guy. We'll get to Scattershoot in a second. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl and Super Bowl snacks and the halftime performance. Not all that we talked about last time, but different things. And we'll get to that in a second. I have eclectic tastes. I will watch a lot of things. Yeah. I'll watch things that, not any bad things, but things I disagree with. I'll watch news channels that do not share my view on almost anything. Because I like to know what's going on.
The criteria is if it's on.
Yeah, if it's on, I watch it. Well, you and I showed you something the other day. It was from a podcast, and it was somebody being asked, when do you think things really began to change in our society, politically? Mm-hmm. And this person said 2008. Okay. Everything was shaken up in 2008. You had Barack Obama elected president. You had the big recession, all those things going on.
When you say things changed, you mean that sort of when we got on the road to this tribalism that we talk about now, when things started to get more divisive politically?
Yeah, 2008 is what this guy was saying. We watched that. I thought, maybe so. Mm-hmm. Maybe so. And there was a policy question. What about from a policy standpoint? And this person said 2000 probably. Had very interesting, going all the way back to 1900, had very interesting things to say about why that was the case. Anyway, it turns out it's true. The polarization actually did begin in 2008. University of Cambridge, a London School of Economics, 36 years of American voter data is what they studied to make this discovery. Now, if there's an old joke about an older couple coming out of church, and they get in the car, and they're driving out of the parking lot, slowly waiting to get out of the parking lot. And they see a young couple in the car in front of them. And the woman of this older couple sort of elbows the man and points to them up there where they're sitting right next to each other. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. The guy and the girl are sitting right next to each other. Mm-hmm. She kind of gets onto the old man and says, "Why don't we do that anymore?" And he said, "I haven't moved." So when you look at how things have changed, it's fair to say, where'd the movement come from? Sure. If we're running to corners, who ran to the corners? And this has the answer. Mm-hmm. American political polarization was relatively flat from 1988 to 2008. But then it surged 64% between 2008 and 2020. Wow. All that growth happened in just 12 years. Which side do you think changed the most? One side did move more than the other. The left. The left-leaning group shifted substantially further left.
Further to the left, yeah.
While the right-leaning group barely moved. contradicting the whole both sides are getting extreme narrative. That's not what happened.
How do they measure that? I'm curious.
Good. They looked at several different issues: abortion, healthcare, racial justice, family values. All those became sort of really tightly bundled, that if you knew anyone's position on one of those, you could predict their position on everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But it was during that time, for example, you could still be a fiscal conservative, but a social moderate.
Right.
So the Republican Party was open to people that disagreed on some of these things. For example, gay marriage, for example, abortion, but agrees on small government, limited government, blah, 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 personal responsibility. But that wasn't the case with the other side. The litmus tests really were on the other side. And again, that big growth began to happen in 2008. I mean, think about it, during that time, we had, what did we have? We had Black Lives Matter. We had the Great Recession, Black Lives Matter. We had the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, was part of what's going on. Arguments about what is systemic racism. Donald Trump's sort of norm-shattering presidency. Anyway, all those things began to happen in 2008 and went all the way up to 2020. And here's the good news. The divide may be reversible. Doesn't mean we have to be this way. Polarization surged during a specific historical period rather than gradually over decades.
Okay.
So something happened that made people run to their corners, but really made liberals run more quickly and further to their corner than
So
did.
do we know what it was?
In the research, it was published in the Royal Society Open Science. It doesn't measure whether Democrats and Republicans simply dislike each other more, though that has also happened. It measures something actually deeper. It measures whether Americans genuinely hold more divergent beliefs about the issues that matter. Are we more tribal? Are we further away from each other on the issues that matter? So what happened during those specific years that sort of pulled the fabric apart? They looked at 14 major issues: abortion, healthcare, income inequality, racial justice, and traditional values. And for each election year, they measured how far apart these opinion groups had drifted. So in 88, there was disagreement, of course, but both groups had some overlap, like we were talking about before. That distance stayed about the same through the 1990s and into the 2000s. Americans argued about politics, but the actual beliefs were not pulling drastically apart. Then in 2008, that's when everything changed. So what changed during the Obama-Trump years? That's what we're talking about, the Obama-Trump years. By 2012, the gap between two groups had widened. By 2016, it had gaped. By 2020, Americans inhabited two very different political worlds. And the 2024 data shows a slight narrowing, but the divide remains, they say, far wider than it was in 2008. The left ran further and faster to the left. Now, you could argue the right couldn't go very far to the right, but of course it could. I mean, there's always more
you
you
mean
could
because
do.
it was already so far to the right?
But I don't believe it was, because it was no litmus test. You could be a pro-choice Republican. There was for crying out loud, the log cabin Republicans.
Yeah.
The log cabin Republicans is gay Republicans. So you have people that are happen to be homosexual, but they still believe in the values, otherwise, of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
But that's not the case in the other party. You can't be a pro and openly. That's interesting wording. You can't be openly pro-life.
A pro-life Democrat.
In the Democrat Party. At all. You can't be. So abortion, family values, healthcare, it all became just crazy. So abortion, family values, healthcare, and others, very tribal. And here's the interesting thing as you look at 2024. One of the issues that was not big way back when, I'm talking back in 1990 or 1988, if you're wondering where someone stands on, for example, immigration or climate change, you can now know where they stand on those two issues based on where they stand on the others.
Right. Right.
That there's not much overlap anymore. But that's what we talked about, that the greatest threat to America is not trans, it's not conservative, liberal, not Republican, not Democrat, not gay, not straight, not Jew, not Muslim. The greatest threat is tribalism, the inability to abide or tolerate the other side. Can't even have a conversation. So what I find fascinating about it is, yeah, we know we've drifted apart, but do we drift apart, or was there an event, a short period of time, where things sort of shoved us apart? And it does appear that's the case.
Yeah.
And that's the good news of the study, that if you can identify and understand what those things were and why they happened, then we can understand it, and maybe it's not a permanent. In fact, the most recent numbers show a bit of a drifting back.
Oh, really?
But that makes sense. I mean, so many things are pendulums, aren't they? Society goes wildly this way and then goes, whoops, that's too much. And comes back.
Correct.
They go, can't stop in the middle. You go too far this way. The drifting apart. Maybe we'll get back together. Oh, it is time for a scatter shoot.
Let's go.
Wilder Show scatter shoot. All right. It's episode 117. It's a great prime number. I don't know why prime numbers always stick out in my head. Prime number. Yeah. Can't do much with the prime number.
97.
One and that number. 97 is a prime number.
17.
17 is a prime number. 13, 11. Yes, 7. Yes. 337, prime number.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could go on. There are more than 7 prime numbers.
We'll start a new podcast.
Yeah, prime numbers.
Prime numbers only.
Yeah, prime numbers. Only prime numbers.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, the president's not going. Do you see that?
I did see that. He said it's too far away.
I heard it was
like
because
a 6-hour flight, right?
Yeah, it's. But you're the president. You probably could go anywhere, right? I think it's because somebody says because he thought he'd be booed, but I think they've done a good job of putting him, whether it's whatever game where he's been, they have him appear. The camera shows him at the exact moment they sing "In the Home of the Brave" or something.
Yeah.
So it's like if you boo there, you're booing the national anthem.
Well, and nobody wants that.
And you could have like the jets fly over. Like right at the time to drown stuff out.
Drown it all out.
But anyway, I've always been a little nervous about presidents going to stuff like that anyway. Yeah. I don't care that he's not going.
He went last year, right?
Didn't
he go last year?
Last year, he wasn't president last year, or was it?
He was newly elected.
That's true. I think he might have. I don't recall.
Who do you think is going to win?
Patriots 27-20.
Oh, wow.
27-20, close game.
So specific.
Yeah, 27-20.
Yep. I think I have to root for Seattle. I
know you do.
I have family in Seattle.
Sure, of course.
I like Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's good. I just think there's talk in the gambling world, and I'm not a gambler.
No, me either.
But there's talk in the gambling world about some belief that it's going to be, that actually in the middle of the season it was going to be the Seahawks. I know I won't drag you down the rabbit hole.
See, if I know stuff like that, yeah. I don't want to watch it all.
But see, that's
I'm not
the thing.
As interested in it.
Gambling ruins a lot or stuff.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because you find out later, oh, that ref did this or that. We found that out about baseball players, even on a team, right? Or somebody missing the free throw at the last minute just to keep it the over-under at a certain thing.
Yeah.
It's just gambling is a very bad thing on 100 levels. But you were saying Super Bowl.
They can't take our snacks, though, and we're going to talk about that in just a little while.
Yeah.
They also cannot take from me Whitney Houston's 1991 performance of the Star-Spangled Banner, which I made you listen to every year at this time.
Every year, yeah, we listen to it.
I listened to it more than once. That was the first time I've listened to it this year, but I will listen to it again from Super Bowl 25 in Miami. I did not remember. It was released as a single immediately following that, and then it was re-released as a single following the September 11 attacks, and all of the proceeds were donated to charity by Whitney Houston. It was a great moment. This year, Charlie Puth will be singing the national anthem.
What's the last name?
Charlie Puth. Charlie Puth.
How do you spell
You'll
that?
remember him. It's
P-U-T-H.
P-U-T. No, P-U-T-H.
Oh,
You'll remember him from the Tortured Poets Department.
Oh, yeah.
We declared Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist. He's been around for a while. You might recognize. I mean, he's got the kind of songs. He's been around maybe first 2015, 2016, something like that. Okay. The kind of songs that you might hear down the aisle of a grocery store, depending on what time of day. And other places, too. I mean, no disrespect by that. I just know that, things cycle through things like that. Songs cycle through things like that.
The halftime, we talked about the halftime show.
Yeah, there's there's also a Green Day mini concert before, because this is happening in San Francisco, right?
It is.
It's happening in San Francisco. Green Day got their start in San Francisco, so that's part of the reason why they're doing a little hometown show there. And then we know Bad Bunny doing the halftime show, and then before the game even starts, though, Brandi Carlile will sing America the Beautiful, and Coco Jones will sing Lift Every Voice.
All right. And who sings the national anthem?
The national anthem is Charlie Puth.
Oh, Charlie Puth. Yeah. You said that, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, very good. And the halftime, the one's going to be on the broadcast, and that all the people in the stadium are going to see is the Bunny. And that's the Bunny for the halftime show, and who knows exactly what's going to be or what language or what he's going to wear. I mean, we'll know, I guess, after it happens. But there is that alternative. There's the counter programming, which some think should be the programming, but the counter programming. And it is the TPUSA, Turning Point USA, All-American Halftime Show.
Yep.
I really wish it hadn't been a deal of we're more American than you are. I mean, that I don't like that at all. But somebody did pick someone who's likely not to sing in the language of America. So if it's kind of a reaction, it's not really an action. It's a reaction to say, okay, we're going to have the American halftime show over here. And it's going to be Kid Rock, come in a minute, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, Gabby Barrett. I don't know any of them.
You do. If you heard their songs, you'd know. Yeah.
I do think, and it'll be on Rumble. It's on the TPUSA thing. It's also on some channels.
Okay.
Did you know it's going to be on the Trinity Broadcasting Network?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Let me say it a different way. Kid Rock is going to be on the Trinity Broadcasting Network.
They're going to have him on 7-second delay.
It seems, I don't know, seems out of place, almost as out of place as a halftime show in a foreign language. So there you go. That is going to be a little weird, I think. I'll probably watch it on the computer on Rumble.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably watch the Bunny.
Have your own little split screen action
I'll watch
going
both.
on.
I want to see. I'm not going to boycott. That's, for me, kind of silly. I want to know what's going on.
I want to know what happens. Yeah.
I want to see. I want to see who he's wearing.
I gotta have the puppy bowl. Maybe the puppy bowl on my. I did get your. I didn't give enough space.
That's okay.
For you. You want to say that again? Yeah. You want to see?
I want to see who he's wearing.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
If you're looking for Super Bowl food, you can't go wrong with just the chips and queso. That's awfully good. I have a problem though. I want the queso to stay nice and warm.
Well,
I need it to be
a good
warm.
crock pot for that, right?
No, I know,
or
but
we
I'm
call
always
it a slow cooker now.
Slow cooker, crock pot. I call it crock pot.
I still do too.
I like that a lot. Can I give a tip to my smoking friends?
Yeah. You mean meat smoking?
If you like wings, a lot of people like wings. You know that?
Yeah, wings are good.
People eat wings.
Yeah.
Do you like the wings or the drumlets better? What's your choice of the two?
I would probably choose the wings.
Really?
I would.
Yeah, I think I've seen you dissect those before. You seem to, you do a good job with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, for me, it's just eat around the drumlet and then set it down. But you're really working it there.
Well, I don't want to, there's not a lot.
No, there's not.
A lot to get there. I don't want to leave anything behind.
No, you do a good job. It's a compliment.
Well, thank you.
But if you want to...
Never been complimented on the way I eat wings.
There you go. First time for everything. It's only taken me 64 years. I want to give you a wing smoking tip, okay? If you have a smoker, particularly if you have a pellet smoker, it's called 0 to 400 wings.
Okay.
0 to 400. Normally when you do chicken wings, you get the smoker up to 375 or whatever it is. And then you put them on hot, on a hot smoker. But if you will go 0 to 400, this is the weirdest thing. Put them on cold. Start your smoker. watch the temperature. When the temperature gets to about 325, 340, go ahead and flip them one time.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets a little over 400, you'll just watch them to see when they look perfect. But you're done. You don't have to preheat your smoker at all. You can do it right just to 0 to 400, and they'll be done.
You've done this?
Oh, yeah, many times.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great, and they're really, really good.
So I just wasn't sure. I mean, you usually, well, maybe you have. I take that back. You're pretty good about sharing the things that you
Actually,
that you cook.
That's the only reason I really like to smoke is to make people happy with food.
Not look at you.
Make people happy with food.
So when you make the rotel, can we go back to the rotel for just a second? Are you're a Velveeta guy?
I am.
Velveeta and I kind of.
Go ahead.
It's not you put the rotel, the canned rotel.
Yeah.
You don't drain it or anything, whole can?
No, okay. I think with the whole can.
What else?
You can also put in cream cheese. Sometimes cream cheese is really good. Adds a little different, little Philadelphia cream cheese.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes I'll put meat in it too.
Yeah. You know, I never had anything like that until I moved to Texas.
Anything like what?
Anything like
a cheese dip?
I don't think I ever had nachos until I moved to Texas.
Wow.
I don't think so, but certainly nothing that was in a crock pot that was like a big bowl of golden hot
goodness.
Golden Velveeta with rotel and
it's great.
Yeah, I mean that was a brand new discovery.
I wish the Super Bowl were not so late in the day.
Yeah, it always is though, right?
I know it is.
5:10,
but then it's like not over 11 o'clock at night.
Well,
I mean, if you're going to go somewhere,
it's over before that.
Well, if you're going to watch the trophy and all that, I mean, because let's say you start at 6 o'clock or 5:37 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it's over by 9.
Usually there's some show that comes on afterwards that they're really excited about, that they use the Super Bowl to promo whatever show comes on after.
Do you remember Super Bowl 1992?
Was that the year that... Well, I'm thinking of one particular show.
Yeah.
The Wonder Years?
No,
the Wonder Years premiered after a Super Bowl. I just don't remember which one.
1992. It was CBS. 1992.
Uh-huh.
And that was the Bill and Hillary Clinton interview on 60 Minutes with Steve Croft.
No, I didn't remember that.
Yikes. Yeah, that was it.
Didn't remember that. Speaking of chips, though, did you see that PepsiCo has gotten the message? Shoppers have been complaining about higher prices for the last few years.
Cutting the prices.
And they're cutting the cost of chips, including Lay's, Doritos, Cheetos, and Tostitos, which you need for that Rotel dip, by up to nearly 15%. Now they're cutting the cost, but this doesn't mention anything about, are we still going to get the same amount of chips in those bags?
Right.
But here's the problem. The people who buy those snacks, by and large, are middle class to upper lower income shoppers, and they're the ones who are feeling the strain of higher grocery prices more than anybody else, and it's meaning that they're not able to buy those things.
It's the prices going up is regressive.
Yeah,
it's a regressive, not a tax, but. It impacts the people the most.
So people have been turning to more store brand options or skipping those things altogether. And Pepsi says that we don't think that consumers should have to give up on taste. We don't want them to have to buy the store brand. So we're going to help them stay within their budget and drop the prices. They also said that they're reducing their product lineup by a fifth. So they're going to pull some stuff out of the product lineup and they're going to reduce the cost on other things. So they're slimming down while they let us, fatten up a little bit again, because now we can afford our snacks. And they're also chasing some food trends that you and I have seen too. Did you know you can get Doritos with protein?
There's stuff added to it.
Yeah, I mean it's like protein powder.
It's kind of weird.
Sprinkled on it. I guess I don't know how else you do that, but they also have Lay's chips made with avocado oil.
I've seen that.
Or olive oil. They're also going to be releasing a low sugar Gatorade with no artificial ingredients.
So they're adding stuff to it. Remember that's PepsiCo, right?
It is.
Remember when Lay's did this in the 1990s?
Long time ago, I do. It was kind of a disaster, wasn't it?
You know, I have, we talked before, words and a little bit of jackassery is part of my DNA, right? Mm-hmm. A little Weisenheimer.
Yeah.
Something going on. Mm-hmm. Remember they did the thing, was it Olean? Olean or Olestra, but it was marketed, I think, as Olean. Mm-hmm. Calorie-free, fat-free, synthetic fat substitute.
It was supposed to make the chips better for us.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Developed by Procter & Gamble, allowed the chips to be fat-free. So that big green fat-free label was on there. Yeah, there was one problem. It caused severe gastrointestinal side effects.
I remember.
Like cramping and diarrhea. And in fact, I renamed some of the brands. It's not a surprise that people did not want to buy them because I renamed it Diaritos.
There's a reason you're not working in product marketing. Yeah. Didn't they also come with a warning though to not eat very much? That the risk of this gastrointestinal issue you might have would be greater if you ate more than just one serving of chips. I don't remember what one serving of chips was, but come on. I mean, if we could eat just one serving of chips, if anybody could, open a bag and eat 5 chips, then we wouldn't have all of the problems that we have with chips.
And
right?
Isn't that rich that it came from Lay's?
Yeah.
Where their slogan for a long time was, no one can eat just one.
Of course.
Diaritos.
You're pretty proud of yourself for that.
Well, originally the original word for honey, I had come up with that. I suggested honey because originally they wanted to call it bee vomit.
Yeah, that would have never.
And I said that is not going to work. And the Volkswagen, that was also my idea.
And what did they want to call it?
Originally they would call it the Hitlermobile.
Yeah. Maybe you do have a future in marketing.
But Diaritos did not work.
No, it did not. It did not. Needed a couple more tries for that. Speaking of groceries, which we sort of were, right?
Yeah.
H-E-B.
Big fan.
You are?
I am.
Okay.
I mean, they did in college, went to the H-E-B a lot, but it was more like a former Brookshire brothers that became an H-E-B. It wasn't like the big fancy H-E-Bs of today that we see here.
Yeah.
But there's not one near my house, so I haven't been to the fancy ones.
Well, and I don't know that I'd really call it fancy. It's just
big.
Giant.
All right.
And I haven't spent, I've lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for a long time. And other than Central Market, which is the, H-E-B's offering to our area over the last couple of decades, I guess they've been around for a while. Yeah. I didn't really have any experience with H-E-B. And then all of a sudden, they're everywhere and they're like, that when you're getting close to one, they're like on these giant patches of
city on a hill.
Land, exactly like that. Yeah, and the lights are really bright. And I'd been in one in Austin, but just to kind of run in and run out, I had 2 things on a list, which was a challenge in an H-E-B. For one thing, I didn't know where anything was in there. And the other thing is the place is giant. Now, I did run into somebody, an employee who was very helpful and allowed me to find what I needed really quickly. Spent a little more time in an H-E-B the other night, and I didn't have a long list. I was there because they had this great restaurant. It was an H-E-B in Allen, and they had a great barbecue restaurant. And I was going to a meeting that was happening in that restaurant.
Cool.
So spent a little more time there, and I do think, if I went there with a list, that you could certainly, I'm not the first one to make this suggestion. You could very easily get your grocery shopping and your 10,000 steps in just one trip to the grocery store. And the reason I'm even bringing this up is I just saw that H-E-B has bought more property on the eastern edge of Dallas-Fort Worth. This time it's in, they got 90 acres in Terrell.
Wow.
This is really close to another location that they just opened in Forney. We know that we have one coming to the Dallas area really soon, right?
Area, yeah.
Yeah. Just on the south side of LBJ, right at Hillcrest, I think is the plan there. So very soon you will be able to buy your reduced cost PepsiCo brand chips at yet another brand new HEB. And I tell you, I mean, I still don't have one close enough to me to make it my regular grocery store. But what I saw there, I think I could get behind it. Yeah.
It could be. I think the HEB, unlike Central Market, will still carry some of the things that you would normally buy. For example, if you can't get paste pecani sauce at the Central Market.
Oh, yeah, Central Market.
At HEB, you would be able to get it.
Central Market is a much smaller, more specialty grocery store, and HEB it's giant. Yeah. They have I can't say they have everything, but they're going to have your paste pecani sauce for sure. Yeah. Do you know how much it costs to lose weight?
You mean if you were like going on drugs, or if you're going to take hiring a trainer, or if you're going to get
it's
a
kind
health,
of a multi
health membership or whatever?
I don't know that this necessarily talks about drugs, but it does talk about the many facets of losing weight. Everything from buying special food, gym memberships, trainers, buying new clothes when you either do lose weight or are unsuccessful and have to go up a couple of sizes. Who's ever done that? That could never happen. That could never happen. The cost of losing weight is about $12,308 a year.
That's what it costs to lose weight?
That's according to Americans who spent a year trying to lose weight. They talk about the costs that pile up through specialty clothing, repeated diet attempts, the fast food and convenience food that they buy when they've put on weight and are too tired to cook for themselves. There's a lot of,
that sounds like that's the cost of yo-yo.
I think it is that.
Yeah, because it's not. If you're, look, everybody's, struggled with stuff like this before, but, if you.
Well, I think part of what this assumes is if you're trying to lose weight, you are currently at a weight that might not be the healthiest weight for you.
Yeah.
So also add to that amount the cost of healthcare expenses. I mean, if, a lot of people who are struggling with their weight might also be struggling
higher blood pressure
with
or whatever.
Pressure. So you've got more trips to the doctor, more copays, and then also whatever medication that you're taking for that. Also diabetes. A lot of people with diabetes. This is
too much to think about.
It is a lot to think about.
You could die, just don't get sick.
Well, my goodness, yeah. The people who reported spending this much talk about trying and failing to reach their target weight an average of 6 times.
6 to inside
that's over that's over like
in their life.
Yeah. For some people, this is a lifelong thing, and each time they've tried, it brings new costs. It might be signing up for a new program or buying the special food and the supplements that comes with it, or maybe buying the new workout equipment that you need for something like this, or paying for medical supervision that you need to start the program or coaching. This is something that I thought was really interesting, though. When people talk about what would motivate them to maybe lose weight and keep it off, you know what the number one thing is?
No.
What's a carrot that you could dangle in front of someone who's had money?
Money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
$5,000.
Really?
A $5,000 reward could change just about anything. More than 8 in 10 people said that they would pursue their weight loss goals with much greater intensity if there was a $5,000 reward waiting for them at the finish line.
I'm going to be a punk.
Okay.
By being healthy, wouldn't they have $5,000 that they wouldn't then have to be spending?
Well, it does seem like if you're spending...
So you do have
And that's a whole...
Be spending less. But
you would
I understand what they're
definitely be
saying.
spending less.
Yeah. But you know, we're all looking for the magic bullet, right? We're all, or the magic pill, whatever. Magic shot. Yeah. That's the whole thing with Wegovy's and all those, is the belief that I can still go about this, and it's like consequence-free, right?
Yeah.
We really do want consequence-free
and
existence.
We want it quick.
We want to do what we want to do and have it not result in something bad.
Right.
That's it. So I don't want to change my behavior, but I want to change the effects of my behavior. I'm going to keep the behavior, but I don't want the effects of the behavior.
Or maybe I'll change the behavior for a little while to get down to the weight where I'd like to be, and then I'd really kind of like to
go back,
get back into some of my old bad habits, whatever those things were, and usually that's not a way for to sustain your success for long-term success.
Right.
So that is, of course, rather than chasing quick transformations, dramatic transformations, most medical experts say, just try to stay consistent.
Slow and steady.
Make a few changes and stay consistent. Move more. Obviously, you know, you can. I don't know what your diet is, but you know if you've got to change it. I know the changes that I have to make. Doing that, small, steady changes, moving away from all or nothing thinking. That's the kind of thinking that leads to burnout. That means you stop what you're doing, and then you've got to start it again, but you're not going to start the same thing that you started last time. Now you're going to start something else, and that's where all the costs start to build up.
You know, generally, incremental works. I mean, there might be some medical reasons where this wouldn't apply to everyone, but generally speaking, the number of calories and the kinds of calories that we take in and the activity that burns some of those off. Yeah. Those are the factors. Right. And I'm not saying it like I've conquered it. I'm just saying it's not easy, but it's simple.
Well, and I know that there are other, it's not different people with different metabolic
as we get older,
makeups.
I mean, forget about it.
Things definitely can be more of a challenge. But it's probably not as hard as a lot of us try to make it.
It's easy to get discouraged, I think. You know, you say, well, I'm trying to get see some action. You can't get traction till you have action, right? Yeah. So you drop a pound or two. I'm talking about after the Super Bowl.
See, that's where a lot of people get into trouble, though.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you're going to say slow and steady, and for me, it's kind of like, you know how they talk about a bear? If a bear gets a taste of, if a bear attacks somebody, you got to kill the bear because now the bear knows what that tastes like, and you're never going to get him to go back out into the woods and not want that. That's like me with candy. Seriously.
Yeah,
I mean,
you have a candy thing.
Yeah, if I start, or I mean, not just candy, but the stuff that's bad for me, I can't. I have a hard time doing just a little bit of it, or saying, you know, today I'm going to give in, and then tomorrow I'll be better again.
Pace it out. Take a taste of it. Just a spoonful.
You're trying to get me in trouble.
No. I think if you could, if one, not you, if one could learn to have just a taste of that. If you had, I'll say a bowl of candy, but if you had, we like Smarties, right? You had Smarties. If we had Smarties, you get one Smartie, and then maybe 3 a day. That's it.
You mean a package?
Yeah, one little package.
That's still that. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like 12 calories or something. It's nothing.
No, 3 packs of Smarties I think is more than 12 calories. Okay. And for me, it's not that. It just opens the door for Smarties. Right. Smarties are a gateway candy for me. And when you mentioned the having just a taste of something, do you remember there? I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that Jennifer Lopez has a bite of a chocolate chip cookie every day.
See, that's good.
If you could do it. I mean, the problem for me, she probably has a staff, somebody who gives her the cookie and she takes one bite and then they take the rest of it really far away because what am I going to do with it? I don't want to throw it away. Right. I don't want to waste the rest of the cookie, but I know I can't wrap it up and just have a little bit more. I mean, that cookie is it's gonna mock me for the rest of the day.
Smarties, one roll, a 7-gram roll.
Mm-hmm.
This surprised me. They are fat-free, though.
Yeah. It's all sugar, though.
It is. It's 6 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
And it's 25 calories.
Yeah. I'm sure those grams of sugar are all added grams of sugar.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And if I have 3 of those, that's 18 added grams of sugar in one little package of Smarties. And the thing, and I'm so far away from a dietitian, I don't know anything really about any of this, but I do know that there are a lot of added grams of sugar in foods that you eat throughout the day that you might not even know that they're in there. So if you say, well, I'm going to only eat this and I'm going to eat all of that, that's still a lot of added grams of sugar. And add it to the things in just the rest of the food that you're going to eat. And it's too much. I hate it, but it's too much.
For you, it's all or nothing on candy.
Yeah.
You got to say no.
I mean,
every now and then you'll say yes.
Unless I have somebody there to give me
one Smartie.
One roll of Smarties, and then that's all I can have for the rest of the day, and they're hidden and I can't find them.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
No, it's okay. We've done it before. I'll give you one piece of candy.
I know, but I need you to...
One little fruit-flavored lifesaver. Here you go, Lauren.
Gummy clusters, too.
Yeah, gummy. Here you go.
The
There's
Nerds
one.
gummy clusters.
There's one. That is the Wilder Show podcast. Instagram, you find us there. Just search Wilder Show Pod. If you want to send us email, just send that to podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time, or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube. Reach down there and click that thumbs up or the like button right now, if you would, before we part ways. We're also on the TikTok. Now and again, wherever you get your podcasts, like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. Lauren, Feliz Super Bowl. Adios.
Feliz Super Bowl to you also. Adios, mi amigo.
Bye.